You said something just before that. You said, everyone thinks of the salesman as the car salesman, but you got to the foundation of what sales is. It's asking questions.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I see a segue because therapists, psychotherapists, those who are going for counseling, they ask questions.
Yeah.
They ask questions to then provide solutions.
Yeah.
If someone is a psychotherapist or someone who's working in this, that kind of field, and they're thinking of transitioning, they, in a sense, could be in pre-sales. They could be a sales engineer or an account executive. I mean, because they already got used to asking questions.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's really the first half of it, because if we look at it like it's two halves, there are a lot of things in between for sure. Right. But if we look at it as two halves, like the first half is asking questions because you need to understand the problem. And the second half would literally just be coming up with the solution for the answers that you got when you were asking the questions. An example that I like to use is here's how you're asking good questions. You know what I mean? If a police officer is asking a suspect a question, who has control of the conversation? It's the police officer. They're interrogating. And if you're asking the right questions, trust me, the suspect will literally implement themselves. And it's the police officer who steered the entire conversation with the questions that they're asking. So even when it comes to asking questions, are you asking the right questions? Here's a perfect example of this, right? YES spells yes, right? So if you spell YES, it's YES. Now, if I were to ask you, what does EYES spell? Imagine having to answer that question after you've established in your mind YES spells yes. And I just threw one letter at the beginning. EYES spells eyes. But a lot of people would have answered that question. ES? They wouldn't get it, particularly because their mind has been impulsed to think a certain way. So even sometimes asking the right questions isn't even enough. Sometimes asking the right questions in the right order to really get to the meat of a problem is also important. But again, like, this just comes with like just tenure and just skill and experience of just being able to get to the root of someone's problem and asking the right questions, and sometimes in the right order. Like if we're out for drinks, I'm not going to come up to you and be like, hey, what's your life goals? That's weird. I'd probably start with, hey, what's your name? Or, hey, what are you drinking? Like something simple. So asking the right questions in the right order, these are things that you just kind of like have to put together. Simple questions, closed-ended questions, open questions. If you find the right technique and the right order for these things, you really like become like a crazy salesperson, just really good at getting to the meat of what this person is looking for and being able to solve their problems for sure.
The Tony Moze Podcast.